And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Our goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. And make sure you save our Consumer Advocate hotline number in your computer or iPhone. It's consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com. You want to bookmark that site, and I implore you to visit. We've got 80-plus show partners on the site. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we vetted, and we bring on the show to help you win and understand more about your buying decisions. We got an upcoming buyer-seller seminar as well I want to let you know about here. This is on Thursday, November 8th. Save that date. Buyer and seller seminar. Going to make you buy and sell like a pro here. Thursday, November 8th. 11300 4th Street North over at Cox Media Group, 1025 The Bone Performance Theater in St. Petersburg. 5 to 8 p.m. buyer-seller seminar. Come check it out. Cater food. Excellent content, and our expert contributors are going to educate you in those areas of buying and selling real estate. So, Intelligent Talk Radio here. I've got some intelligent folks in studio with me today. Attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Brandon. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming in. What do you want to talk about today?
Today, I'd like to talk about the importance of knowing your medical history in legal cases, whether it's workers' comp or personal injury, and then also medical bills. And then just lastly, a little bit about credit reports.
Yeah, medical history, that's one as well when it comes to, estate planning and helping, some elders out and, people, pretty much anyone of all ages, really, because things can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just had an experience this week where that came into play, and it's always good to know it. And I don't even know mine as well as I should.
Right.
But it's definitely, if you're involved in litigation, you really should know it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also, Eunice Halstead in the house as well, insurance risk specialist. Welcome in.
Thank you. It's great to be here again.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for coming in. And what's on the agenda for today?
I think we just need to keep hammering on the cybersecurity issue because things keep happening all over the world, and it just seems to me like people are not paying attention.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about that.
That's right. Yep. And also got an interesting story here as well. New FEMA maps move homes into higher flood risk. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Some of the, the FEMA changing and, when it comes to the rising waters, this is something you want to be careful of, different types of risk that you have. So we'll dive into that as well a little bit later, kind of give you an update on that. They've got a new preliminary flood insurance rate map. So FIRM is the one rolling that out, the the federal what is it? FEMA. So you got FEMA and then also FIRM. So the Federal Emergency Management Association. And then, they're rolling out these new maps. So how does that affect you, especially in Pinellas County? So that's a high velocity area there as well when it comes to storms. So insurance risk specialist Eunice Halstead here, helping you with everything P&C and even cybersecurity we're talking about as well. So I've got a good lineup for you today. We've got a feel-good story of the day as well. Random act of kindness at a restaurant makes a family's night. And I want to give a shout out to our restaurant partner here in Tampa, Curry Leaves Restaurant, Indian Cuisine, Kennedy and West Shore, kind of at that intersection of Kennedy and West Shore. Our new restaurant partner, Curry Leaves Restaurant, Indian Cuisine. Excellent food, very great. When you think about the spices that they have with that, it's healthy food, tastes great, and it's right there over at right across the street from the Intercontinental Hotel on Kennedy Boulevard. So it's excellent food. Say hello to Saji and his team over at Curry Leaves Restaurant. Fine Indian dining there. Excellent food. And I got a couple of hot listings here. Got a couple $1 million listings here that I've got to get something going on them. I need, where's my $1 million buyers at? I need to talk to those $1 million buyers. 215 12th Avenue Northeast over in St. Petersburg. 4 bedrooms, 5 bath. The owner reduced this property over $200,000 over the last 30 days. Final price, $1.199 million asking price. Beautiful property. It's completed now, and it's a great opportunity in the Old Northeast section of downtown St. Petersburg, 215 12th Avenue Northeast, St. Petersburg. And taking you over to the beaches here, 1370 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 401, Bella Rosa condo, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, end unit, 2,200 square feet, $1.149 million, just reduced. And this is a great property right on the gorgeous sands of Clearwater Beach. All right, let's jump right into it. We got attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law here, one of our legal analysts on the show, and providing these timely updates around different laws that have changed over the last few months and things happening in that area of workers' comp and also personal injury law. So, what are you seeing out there?
Well, today I'd like to talk a little bit about medical billing. In particular, there's an aspect that I feel that we overlook. Everyone talks about the healthcare situation, and that's a dilemma in and of itself. But as far as just saving money, if we ever cut down on inaccurate billing and just excessive billing, I think that could save us a tremendous amount of money, because it's rampant. I mean, it's really bad. I got into that through my workers' comp cases. In workers' comp, you're not allowed to get billed for medical care that you receive related to your case. So if anybody who's had a workers' comp case, even if you settled it, even if it's closed within the last 2 years, if it was an accepted case and you received a medical bill, even if it was just paid by the carrier right after you received it, the mere fact you received it is a violation of your rights under the FCCPA. So if that happened to you, or if it went to collections, that's even worse, give me a call, because you're not supposed to get billed. But that opened the door to me to getting just into medical bills in general, and it's ugly. I mean, hospitals billing for things they didn't do.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and outrageous prices. So any medical bills you get, take a real close look at it, because there's a lot of fraud.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, you think about the amount of procedures that go, and then also the codes, and then the fact that the person reading it most of the time doesn't really understand what it is anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had one of my cases. It started out, I thought it was just a regular case where they billed an injured worker where they shouldn't. And then looking at the codes, I had to do a lot of studying to catch up on all that stuff, but I was able to decipher they were billing for things that wasn't even ordered.
Wow.
Wasn't even performed.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, and then I've come to learn it happens often.
Wow. Yeah, and I think that's probably large part of your job is learning on the go, right? I mean,
sometimes, yeah. You never know where a case is going to take you.
Right.
You have your specialty, but sometimes it kind of gets off onto tangents, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and then you pick up that information and you're like, wow, this is really happening. And then you can just imagine on a larger scale some of the overbilling, inaccurate billing, and maybe it was ordered but it was not performed. Right. There's all these different scenarios.
And then also you go to the emergency room and you're going to such and such hospital. Then you'll get bills from this radiologist and this, all these different specialists that you saw there, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't even remember this person.
Right.
And it's a lot of those are bogus. So You really got to watch.
Yeah, they come and poke their head in for a couple minutes, say hello to you. Oop, there's a nice little charge on my next bill.
Yep. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of that. So if anybody has experienced that, you have a question about a medical bill, give me a call, because now it started a new specialty for me, and I actually enjoy it. It's one of my favorites.
Okay, so that's involving workers' comp, or just even outside of that?
Any kind of inappropriate billing. But
inappropriate billing.
Medical billing, you'll find it often.
Yeah, that's interesting. Jason Kobal here. He's a legal analyst on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So in the past, also, you talked about different changes in laws. The workers' comp, they finally allowed, first responders, medical.
They actually just that has been implemented into law now, and they just had their first few cases where that's been picked up now. So that's great. But like I told you the last time I was on here when we talked about it, I don't feel it's enough. Because first responders, that's great, but there's also, when those horrific events happen, other people see and get PTSD and experience terrible things that aren't first responders. So, for example, in a school shooting, the teachers, the janitor, whoever, witnessed that, they're just as much as the first responder, they develop conditions. So I feel it should be expanded. So it's a step
Absolutely.
in the right direction, but not all the way.
Yeah, they started stepping, but they didn't get to the finish line on that one.
Yeah,
that's tough. But at least hey, we got there. And then what's the process? Would it take another attorney or a nonprofit organization? What would they have to do to say, hey, you didn't go far enough, guys?
It's funny you asked that, because I know the firm who got the first responders on the scene, and I asked them. I was like, well, what? That's not enough. And they're like, hey, why don't you do it for the teachers? And I was like, oh, it takes that kind of initiative. You're going to have to get a large group, like maybe all the teachers in the state, saying, hey, we want to be included in this. Yeah. And I get a spokesperson to go up to Florida or up Tallahassee,
or even like nightclub. The nightclub people that were in Orlando at that club. I mean, it's employees, workers who a union maybe. But yeah, that's
or maybe
that's
a couple of them, because anybody who sees that, I think, should be covered if they're on the job.
Yeah, if they're on the job, they had traumatic something like that happen. That's a frustration. That's definitely a frustration. So so more from attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, when we come back. Also, Eunice Halstead, insurance risk specialist. She's handling all types of insurances in and around Tampa Bay. But also, we're going to talk about cybersecurity coming up as well. Cybersecurity is such a relevant area in this texting, tweeting, and internet-based world that we live in. I almost said the texting, tweeting, twerking joke, but yeah. So there's a lot going on online, guys, and we want to be careful. We want to be protecting our assets, especially in a business setting. And there's some great stories that we've talked about that in the past where people didn't have these processes in place, these insurances covering them, and they've had some really significant data breaches, and it costs them a lot of money. So we're going to protect you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, kind of your watchdog here with the consumer advocate approach that we have. Stay with us right here, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978. Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes,
cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Also, Facebook.com, Consumer Quarterback Show. Got the Real Estate Quarterback Show pages out there as well. And we would love to engage with you, help you win in any marketplace, as we say. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.com. PlatinumMVPRealty.com for all your buying, selling, investing needs with real estate. You can search for closures from our website, and you can also search all of the MLS properties. You can have a CMA completed for you. See all of our company listings at PlatinumMVPRealty.com. And we're back here in studio. Jason Kobal, attorney Jason Kobal in the house, Kobal Law. Eunice Halstead, insurance risk specialist, coming up as well. Giving a shout out to WholeBodyFuel.com, our official meal delivery service of the Consumer Quarterback Show is WholeBodyFuel.com. Chef Brian Adamo and his team, Kevin and the team over there at WholeBodyFuel.com. They do a great job. Organic food, organic vegetables, natural proteins, convenient food, healthy delivery service directly to your home or office. And I love it when my food comes in. It's great. It's a nice surprise for the week. All this excellent food. Protein donuts, the world famous protein donuts. Excellent food. Check out WholeBodyFuel.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you and take them up on special offers and incentives. A couple of hot properties here, compliments of Platinum MVP Realty. 5506 Dallas Way, River Hills Country Club. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, beautiful property, 3,500 square feet, corner lot, pool home, 1 owner home that's been constructed by the owner. He's a contractor, and it's $545,000 over in Valrico. Beautiful property. And South Tampa property here in the Plant High School District, 103 South Habana Avenue, 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,464 square feet, just reduced down to $525,000. Great investment opportunity here in beautiful South Tampa. A great Airbnb investment opportunity in Tampa Bay here. Beautiful property.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so let's bring in Eunice Halstead, insurance risk specialist. More from Jason Kobal here in a moment. But Eunice, you're saying you're seeing a lot of cybersecurity stuff popping up out there.
So this is the funny thing. The one that you would least expect to get it, got it. Facebook security had a security breach of about 50 million users. Most of us have Facebook accounts, and it's not only the information that Facebook has because it requested automatically, like name, address, your birth date, and whatever. We're constantly giving them our everything we do. Where I went to dinner, when I came home, if I'm on vacation, I'm out of the house, I just bought a new car.
Credit cards? Do they get credit card information?
Sometimes when they have these little games that are apps that you play through Facebook, sometimes if you want to buy tokens or buy little things to play additional, they will request a credit card, and either a credit card or PayPal.
Yeah.
And so they have all that information in their system. Actually got even Mark Zuckerberg's and Sheryl Sandberg's information.
Wow.
That's how far this went. They've been under scrutiny because British analytics firm got access to private information of up to 87 million users.
Wow.
And they confirmed that Facebook has affected elections, not only in the United States, but in other countries as well. And some lawmakers now are saying that if they don't get their security under control, government's going to have to step in and do something about it. For
and Facebook. They don't want that.
No, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
It's our privacy. It becomes a matter once they have all that information on all those users. It becomes an issue of our economy and national security. Facebook, of all people, is expected to be maintaining all that information, and they're constantly saying that they're adjusting their security so that you can choose what kinds of information is seen by other people. It's not working. It's not working. The other one, that was, I believe, either last week or 2 weeks ago, October 2nd, that was this week. The St. Pete government had a breach of more than 28,000 credit cards.
Wow.
So whenever you go in to pay for your parking tickets, utility bills, business license fees, building permit fees, civil citations, all of those credit cards between August 11 and September 25, I probably fall in there too.
Right.
Because I had to pay for a ticket.
Yeah, I think they got me last year too.
So my credit card might be involved in that one as well. So
Yeah.
that one's really, really close to home. In addition to that, this just keeps growing. Every day there's a new story about a data breach somewhere, a store. Since January of 2017, some major retailers have been hit. And the thing is, so you normally are not going to hear about the small businesses that are being affected by these issues, or the they don't call it a security breach, they call it more ID theft when it's on a personal basis.
Right.
So you don't hear about that, but you do hear when there's this restaurant called Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, and they're located in a number of different states, including Florida. They had a cyber breach. Apparently, 80% to 90% of the people that log into any retailer's e-commerce are hacked at one point or another.
Wow.
So we're doing most of our shopping online, and we're exposing our information there. And whenever we put our credit card information, they usually ask you for your billing address, and then you need your shipping address.
Right.
So they're getting a lot of our information available very easily. Macy's got hit. They did not confirm how many people were impacted, but it was through their e-commerce website.
Scary stuff. And then they take that and they put it on the dark web,
Yep.
I think, right?
Absolutely.
They take it and put it on the dark web, and then people can buy and sell that as like a secondary market.
Yep. It's crazy.
Right.
It is.
Adidas got hit. They said it was from customers who shopped and purchased on their online site. Sears and Kmart, which are owned by the same company, they also, it affected over 100,000 people, had their credit card information stolen.
Wow.
And Delta Airlines uses the same online support service that Sears does. So they got hacked too.
So if something happens and somebody hits your credit card because of one of these other big companies you just mentioned, who pays the bill? That's not like FDIC insured on your bank account, right? It's something, who's paying that bill, I wonder?
Well, remember last time we talked about personal identifiable information and the personal health information. When it's personal identifiable information, especially from someone as big as any of these companies that we're talking about, there are regulations. They have to notify their clients. In many cases, they have to provide them with an ID theft service for a certain period of time. They have to do something for them.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder, if money's missing from the bank account, do they dig in there and, get the money back? I mean, it kind of makes you think about the Bitcoin conversation too, how Bitcoin might be more relevant than ever, with all of this talks. I mean, there's a lot going on there. If you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Eunice Halstead, insurance risk specialist, Jason Kobal, Kobal Law in studio as well. And yeah, we're cybersecurity on the forefront here on the conversation. So what else are you seeing out there, Eunice? Yeah.
Well, I had a couple more companies to mention. Best Buy was affected recently. Saks Fifth Avenue and Lord & Taylor, which are also owned by the same company, they were also hit. Panera Bread, place that we all go to all the time around here. The personal information included names, addresses, and partial credit card numbers. They were leaked through, and they have an investigation going about it, but they don't know that much about it yet.
Wow.
Sonic, the burger
drive-through place, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They said about 5 million customers, credit cards.
Wow.
Whole Foods, there was a flaw in the point of sale system, which is something kind of like what happened with Target.
Right.
That
Target got hit last year, a couple years ago.
Right. And it was through the point of sale system.
Right.
GameStop had a data breach in April of 2017, and it went on for 6 months.
Wow. This is amazing. I mean, it's almost like we need a list of companies that weren't hit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
It's almost like it's to the point where this identity theft, this cybersecurity, this world, and that's where we see USF, all different types of schools coming in with these degree plans to help protect businesses and help even municipalities.
Right.
It's scary.
On our side, they're starting to do a lot of courses, teaching people how to protect themselves. But remember what I told you last time. There's in other countries, they're teaching people how to hack.
Yeah.
So,
man,
like
it's
the Wild
craziness.
West.
It is.
Yep.
It really is. It's where the next war. It's all happening online, and it's that new virtual world, kind of like that movie that came out, Ready Player One, and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's just nuts out there. All right, we're going to protect you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us when we come back. More about these FEMA guidelines. The flood rate maps are changing. The flood risk maps. Attorney Jason Kobal in the house. Eunice Halstead, and our feel good story of the week. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Tricia up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We would love to talk to you if you're buying, selling, or investing. We've got a great team with Platinum MVP Realty. Check out our website, platinummvprealty.com. Also have a buyer-seller seminar coming up on Thursday, November 8th, 5 to 8 p.m. over at Cox Media Group, 1025 The Bone Studio, the Performance Theater in St. Petersburg, 11300 4th Street North, St. Pete. Catered food, excellent content from our expert contributors. They're going to be talking about how to buy and sell and even invest like a pro. You want to save that date, November 8th, on your calendar. And let's give a shout out to our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island. Love that place, man. What a great time building some memories out there with your friends and family, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation feel that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought after destinations in Treasure Island area for years. And whether you're planning a business outing, a wedding, just a family getaway, great place to visit. Bilmar Beach Resort, Treasure Island, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the show. Got a hot property listing here in Largo. This is 12091 145th Street in Largo. Beautiful property here. 3-bedroom, 2-bath property. Close to the beach, but you're not in a flood zone. We're going to talk about flood zones coming up and how that can affect your mortgage payments and the real estate side of it. But this one's actually not in a flood zone, and it's close to the beach, interestingly enough. Close to Indian Rocks Beach, Marina, Krabby Bills Nature Park. Beautiful property here listed at $290,000. Hot property here in Tampa Bay.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, so we have attorney Jason Kobal in the house, Kobal Law, and we're going to talk a little about workers' comp and credit as well, making sure you know your billing history. I thought we would stay with Eunice here on the topic of cybersecurity, Facebook security breaches, all these different companies. We went through a laundry list of companies and even municipalities. So what, I guess, the next question from me from a consumer advocate standpoint is, what can we do about it, Eunice?
Okay, so as we had talked last time I was here, the city of Houston purchased a $30 million insurance policy to protect themselves after what happened in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
More and more municipalities and private companies need to start insuring their risk when it comes to cybersecurity, because it's like I keep saying, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah. Right. It's when it's going to happen, and the more that you can prepare. So I like what Jason's question was, too, is, if you do buy one of these policies, what's included? Like, can you give us a little overview of that?
Right. So there's a number of coverages that these policies provide. The one that I've been selling is very broad in coverages. They protect you in case, your cost of notifying your clients, the cost of recovering your data, the public relations costs, because now you have an issue with your clients not trusting you with their information.
Right.
Legal fees, if you get sued, they're going to pay for third-party losses. So, whatever, like you asked me a minute ago, what happens to, if somebody gets breached and it's because of somebody else.
Right.
So what happens then? So they will take care of that third party that was harmed as well. And there's a number of other things that are included within that policy. And like I said, I'm sure that there's a lot of that happening within the small business community, and it's just not in the news.
Yeah, underreported, not reported. It's just something, somebody goes bankrupt or they just somehow collect it and keep going with it. But can you imagine dealing with, all of that? I've heard some really bad horror stories when it comes to even just credit, having credit, hacked and your identity taken through credit. I mean, you're talking countless hours of trying to contact each one of the creditors, contact your, all the people involved. And it's a real big issue. And Jason, I think you've had some issue with that as well, some work as an attorney dealing with that, with the credit.
Absolutely. My workers' comp bill cases that I had, that evolved into me getting into the credit reporting. stuff. And a lot of people don't realize, as far as what Eunice was talking about with cybersecurity, everyone, at least I'd say once or twice a year, you should check your credit report. It's real easy to do. You get it for free at annualcreditreport.com.
Yep.
And that's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Those are the 3 credit bureaus. And you'd be surprised. Like, for example, I looked mine up, and 2 were fine, and 1 had 3 items on there. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then what else people don't realize is it's really easy. If there is something on there you don't know, you're not sure about, if you dispute an item, it's really easy to get it taken off. And there's even ways of, I mean, a lot of times they don't even want to deal with it.
Yes.
There's deadlines. There's a 30-day deadline, and then after that, a 15-day deadline. So if there's something on your credit report that you don't want there, either because you don't know what it is or you just want it gone, give me a call. I could help you with that.
Yeah, that's a part of the whole thing is when you look at the piece of your puzzle today. Think about it. You want to make sure that your attorneys, talking to your mortgage team, talking to your financial advisors, talking to your CPA. There's a lot going on, and a lot of times it's all intertwined.
Yep.
And it's important that everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely.
And having these policies in place. So Eunice Halstead, insurance risk specialist here in Tampa Bay, you can help people with these types of policies to protect themselves.
Absolutely, and I can explain to them each and every one of the coverages that it's provided, and we can get them a quote usually within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, a lot of business owners listening to our show, the Wall Street Business Network here, so I would think people would want to be reaching out for that. So let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit more about the FEMA guidelines changing. So this was an interesting article that James teed up for us here, our show producer. So he's talking about the FEMA flood maps could mean higher rates for people who live in prone neighborhoods. There's good news and bad news. People who live along the Gulf Coast may benefit from a new FEMA map. However, but closer to Tampa Bay, the flooding risk appears to be higher. So people in Florida love to live near the water, but that comes with a cost. And so there's a couple different stories in here, but it kind of goes on to talk about it's critical that people know which flood zone they're in, and everyone is in a flood zone. And also don't get confused an evacuation zone with a flood zone. That's a big difference there.
Yes. And definitely your bank is going to let you know what flood zone you're in and whether you need to purchase a flood policy for your home or not. So like, for example, in my case, the only reason I get away with not needing a flood policy is because I'm on a second story.
Right.
But the people on the first floor definitely need to have a flood policy.
Right.
And overall, the condo association is required to have a flood policy.
Yes, yeah, the flood policy, and it's important to know which one you're in, especially when the storm's coming. You're trying to pack up, you're trying to have the waters and the different necessities that you need, but understanding, are you in a velocity zone? V zone, that's a velocity zone. That's where the wind's going to come and really push hard. So most of the time, a velocity zone, that's one of the first ones to have to evacuate. Flood zone A, it gets confusing sometimes for people. They don't know what flood zone they're in, and then also don't confuse that with your evacuation zone. So if you're living in Tampa Bay, good things to understand and know more about.
And that's something else that I'd be happy to help anyone with. If they need to know which flood zone they're in, if they want to know where they're located within the FEMA map, call me and I can talk to you about it.
Yeah, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372, our consumer advocate hotline. Call or text 813-670-7372.
Here's my number, so call me, baby.
And, on that same note, it talks about FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Administration. They're talking about, it's going to indicate whether properties are in areas of high, moderate, or low risk with the help of the updated coastal flood modeling. So, it's interesting. Historically, flooding is one of the most costly natural disasters affecting Pinellas County, said Commission Chairman Kenneth T. Welch. The modernization of outdated flood maps represents an important step toward increasing public safety by better equipping our residents to make decisions about protecting themselves and their properties. So it's really important.
Did you see what happened up there in North Carolina? The houses were underwater. And they lost everything.
Yeah, 500,000 homes and businesses is the number I last saw. I mean, they said trillions of gallons of rain dropped in one spot. Very similar to what happened in Houston the previous year. I mean, these storms come in, they're so powerful, and then they just sit there.
Yeah.
It's like, why do they not keep going?
Yeah, that was crazy.
We got to have. We need our entrepreneurs and our inventors to come up with something. I mean, can't they fly a plane, drop some kind of a bomb in there to sends it?
I was thinking that as I watched this, I'm like, gosh, you would think somebody would think of something.
Yeah, we got to get our brightest on those things because it's getting scary around here.
Yeah.
I mean, every year this is happening. And in certain parts of the country get hit. Think back to Superstorm Sandy. Who would have thought New York would have got pounded? New York, New Jersey. They typically think of Florida. New Orleans, those areas of getting hit. But yeah, it's the storms are there. But what you need to do is have flood insurance. Make sure you know your evacuation zones, know where you're at. Be smart. Be a smart consumer. That's what this show is all about, helping you understand more about these different buying decisions, avoiding commission-based advice, and making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, we got our feel-good story of the day for you, some positivity injection into your life. Random act of kindness at restaurant makes families night. Stay with us right here, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Once upon a time, there
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, former USF football player. I played on the inaugural football team, University of South Florida. Now we're quarterbacking a different game. We're quarterbacking introductions to our 60-plus show partners, CPA, financial advisors, different types of attorneys with different law specializations, all types of mortgage and real estate experts. We've got health advisors on the show as well, nutrition, lifestyle, recreation, lots of areas covered on the show. So we want you to think about our show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel. Each one of those spokes extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our expert contributors here on the show. And all you have to do is reach out. We'd love to connect with you. Check out consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors on our website, consumerqb.com. QB.com. Make sure you bookmark that site, save it in your phone, and reach out whenever you have questions. We would love to talk to you about it. And coming up, we have our feel-good story of the week, and we have Jason Kobal, attorney Jason Kobal, in the house. Eunice, Halstead, insurance risk specialist, giving a shout-out to our official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Nova McNeil, with Prestige Cleaning. Prestige 24/7 Cleaning does a great job on our real estate properties, and Nova McNeil, she's a local entrepreneur. She's cleaning homes, offices, yachts, and Prestige 24/7 is a premier commercial and residential cleaning service serving Hillsborough and Pinellas counties here. So reach out to Nova McNeil. Let them know that you heard about her on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and take her up on a special offer and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the show. And we got a random act of kindness here. Random act of kindness on our Tell Me Something Good here. I love this.
Tell me something good.
So, random act of kindness at a restaurant makes family's night. A family in South Bend, Indiana, was caught off guard when a stranger offered to pay for their entire dinner at Tap House on the Edge. The gentleman stops by, taps me on the shoulder. I look over there, and he's my left shoulder. He says, "Hey, Dad, I love your family. Dinner's on me." And left his card. It had $200 on it and was out the door before I could realize what was going on, said Matthew Cloud, the father. I was just really shocked. Normally, I'd have to say I was really sitting there just looking around, really going really well happening. And because this is not something that's normal to us, that normally happens to us. The family of 8 can often have a hard time juggling everything, so the act of kindness meant a lot. And just for pure joy of us to be able to sit and relax and have a wonderful time and not have the bill that night, it was wonderful, said Nicole Cloud, the mother. And so really cool. So random act of kindness at a restaurant. So really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so we got attorney Jason Kobal in the house, Eunice Halstead here, and we were talking, everything. So with Jason Kobal, we're talking about workers' comp, how you can help people with workers' comp out there, personal injury law as well. What else are you seeing out there, man?
One thing I wanted to mention, another little tidbit of advice: know your medical history. If you get hurt at work or you get in a car accident, more than ever, both sides are barking a lot about fraud. And even myself, I'd have to really think back and have to dig to figure out and remember, how many times I've been in other accidents, how many times I've been in the hospital. It's important to know your history, because if you don't, it could really bite you in a case.
Yeah, it's important. I think there's also, isn't there a website where you can put some of your information out there? I think that's maybe about estate planning, more so about estate planning, though. I've heard of a site, though, where it kind of keeps that.
I don't know if there's one for medical history, but that's a heck of an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Something there.
Yeah, keep it.
Cool.
That way people know, because when you're in an accident, the loved one that's there, hopefully they're there, not involved in the same accident. But yeah, hey, what I think about different folks in my family or my spheres, like what type of medications are they on? What type, what's the dosage? When are they, all those questions.
Absolutely.
A lot of that stuff comes up. So personal injury law as well. Everything from personal injury law. When you think about the slip and falls, the fights that happen outside of nightclubs. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for those types of scenarios to play out.
Slip and falls. I have a couple of those going on right now. Very difficult. You have to prove notice in those. You can't just. You have a situation where, say, somebody spilled something on the floor and then somebody slips 2 seconds later. Well, the facility didn't have an opportunity to clean that up. It's not really easy to prove negligence in
right.
that. So you don't have a case. But if it's a situation where it's a dangerous condition, the owner knew about it, didn't fix it, and then someone falls, well, that's totally different.
Right.
And I have a couple cases right now involving restaurants where my client says that there was notice and there's a video, and they won't give it to me until I file suit. So they're like forcing me to file suit.
Wow.
Which, to each their own. But I see that strategy a lot lately.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what's their point with that?
I don't know. I've seen it a lot lately. Me personally, it's kind of, I like to settle pre-suit if I can. Because when you file suit, the price goes up for the client.
Yeah.
My fee goes from 1/3 to 40%.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more involved. So I mean, for me, I wish I would kick, but they're tying my hands. When your hands are tied, you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm sure they have their reasons.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah. It's a posturing game a lot of times, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Posturing.
Maybe they think people aren't going to file suit.
Right.
I do.
Take them to that point of no return, I guess, when they can see if they're going to follow through with the threat.
Yep, that's probably
a lot of times it's empty threats. A lot of blowhards out there. I see that. I could see that happening. So, workers' comp. That's another thing. When it comes to workers' comp, what are some of the key takeaways that we've talked about on that?
Well, we talked about the recent changes. Workers' comp. The difference there is when you get hurt in a car accident, you get to treat with whoever you want. Mm-hmm. In workers' comp, especially in Florida, it's tough, man. The carrier picks your doctors. And I just had a trial last week. Ugh. I mean, this doctor was paid thousands of dollars for conferences. I mean, just like right around the fringe of the law there, as far as like what you can do is monetarily.
Right.
They are in their back pocket, these doctors that they send you to. So workers' comp is tough. You got to have a good attorney. Yeah. Because as soon as you get hurt on the job, you're into a game that's not a level playing field.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that happen with different types of retreats or speaking engagements, paid for a speaking engagement down, let's say Cozumel, different cool exotic places. So there's ways around those types of things. I get you there. Mm-hmm. So Attorney Jason Kobal, Kobal Law, Eunice Halstead. Let's go back to you. So we talked a lot about Cybersecurity Day. What else are you doing outside of cybersecurity?
Property and casualty for small businesses, workers' comp. Here in Pinellas, in Hillsborough and Pinellas County, it's very difficult to get auto insurance, so I'm trying to stay out of that. But for small businesses, pretty much anything, artisan contractors, taverns, restaurants, anything else that who needs insurance,
Yeah, like the property casualty side of real estate as well, the residential side.
Yes, the residential side also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the real estate market, it's interesting now. We're kind of slowly easing to. Yesterday's show we had Nick Kick, one of our mortgage partners here on the show. He's talking about the Federal Reserve raising rates, and they've the highest they've been since 2011. So about a 7-year high point there. Now what we're seeing is a little bit of an ease into a buyer's market, a slow transition into a buyer's market. Still seller's inventory or lack of inventory out there, so I think it's still a seller's market, but we are moving toward that. So it's interesting to see how that's playing out. But the idea is to make your real estate moves now. Rates are rising. It's a rising interest rate environment, and think about the implications of waiting. Especially for renters out there. I love to talk to renters and get them out of that renter paying the landlord's mortgage type scenario. Get them into a home. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Ladies first, Eunice Halstead, insurance risk specialist.
I think I'm just going to start calling people one by one and asking them, what are you doing to protect your identifiable information?
Yeah.
Because people need to be made aware that it's out there.
Good point. Yeah, contact businesses, find out, hey, what's your strategy? What's your plan?
Right.
Do you have a plan?
Everybody needs to have a plan for that.
Yeah. I would venture to say that's a pretty low number of people that are already in, have this cybersecurity insurance in place.
Probably.
Very low.
Because it's reported that 50%, less than 50%, and usually when they're talking about that, they're talking about large businesses. Mm-hmm. So if you think about small businesses that have lesser of a cash flow and trying to cut in corners to make it, they're not going to be spending their money on cybersecurity unless they get hit.
Right. Yeah, they're focused. Some smaller businesses are focused on cash flow, generating sales, raising that top line of a revenue number over some of those other types of, more insulated infrastructure type scenarios.
Right.
I would say, yeah. All right, Jason Kobal, top tips, nuggets of advice.
Along the same lines as Eunice, and I know I said this earlier, but honestly, everybody, I bet you if everyone tonight went home and checked your credit reports, all three, I would say 60% would find something on there.
Yeah.
That's either a mistake, and people should know they're not allowed to have mistakes. Yeah. These FICO scores are used for everything.
Yeah.
You're going to buy a house, apply for a job, you name it. So
insurance even.
Yeah. I mean, there's laws in place where they have to be 100% accurate, and if they're not, give me a call.
Yeah.
Give the show a call.
Yeah, that's I've heard it said even like 100% have one minor mistake. Something's going to be a typo. There's going to be some mistakes. So yeah, credit is an area that the credit bureaus are a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not in business to make sure your credit report's exactly right.
You're just a number to them.
They're selling the information. They're selling it to credit cards, mortgage, real estate, insurance, all those different automobile loans. But yeah, so reach out and find out. Annualcreditreport.com. That was a great tip today from attorney Jason Kobal. I want to thank Eunice Halstead as well, insurance risk specialist, for coming in. And we want to remind you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another. Go out there, maybe volunteer. There's great opportunities to volunteer, local churches, or get involved with some of the food banks in the area. Great opportunities there. Go to a nursing home. Go to a nursing home and just visit, talk to the folks and say hi. Do something kind for one another. Be friendly to one another. Drive safely out there. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.